Today we're building a city using only one road, a 600 km/h 30-lane hyperroad. The goal is to somehow create a functioning, semi-realistic city that's profitable. And I know that seems like it's going to be easy, but I've tried this before, and trust me, it's not. Goodbye train tracks, and goodbye boring highway, and goodbye boring interchange. And now instead, I'd like to welcome everyone to the absolutely magnificent, just glorious hyperroad. Just look at it in all its beauty, and I figured we probably don't need interchanges because we have so many lanes. And as long as we keep adding one more lane, it should solve everything. And instead of producing our own power, we're just gonna place a substation right here, and just look how ridiculous that looks. We'll just get that connected in, and then all we need is some water. So let's just slap down this France water tower, and that's because it can also handle our sewage. Then let's just extend some of these roads, and we might as well pull it all the way down the waterfront. We don't want to waste valuable real estate like this. And then all we need is just the absolute most cursed connection into this road. And then for the last connection, let's just make sure we come in at a 90, because we want these roads to be safe, right? And in all its glory, here it is. I've built outside of our tile, so just ignore that for now. We'll buy that tile soon, but let's get some zoning in. We'll make this over here our beautiful shopping center, and then right beside it, let's just have some southwestern low-density housing. And I was expanding our grid so we could zone more, but we've already hit milestone 1. Now which way does the wind blow, because we're gonna need some industrial. And thankfully it blows that way. So let's just get in a bunch of industrial right near our waterfront. Makes sense to me. And would this even be North America if we didn't have a Walmart? We just need to get some parking in, and I forgot that you actually have to unlock parking. Alright, we need 2 development points, that way we can get our Walmart in. So let's just try and speedrun this. We'll add in some row homes right alongside our massive road. And a bit more southwestern low density right here. And there's nothing like having 30 lanes, but then also having a sea of parking lots. It's honestly beautiful. Yeah, that's okay, just completely ignore all of the lanes. Whoa, why is a bus in our city? That bus needs to leave. You don't need transit when you have 30 lanes. That is just the most ridiculous turn I've ever seen. This is the race day DLC that everyone wanted in City Skylines 2. And we are just hemorrhaging money, and it seems like these houses have a few problems, so let's just quickly delete them. You don't get to live here anymore. And it's kind of crazy because it seems like the only thing that we have demand for is commercial. We're gonna need these 7 tiles, but it's gonna cost all of our money. Wait, can we take a loan? We can take a loan, but it'd only be for 100,000, and that's essentially nothing. Wait, we're paying $111,000 in road maintenance alone. How much do these roads cost? So they cost $3,625 per kilometer per month. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. We're gonna start having to incentivize people to move in, because we barely have any more room for development, and we're facing a major demand issue. So we're gonna drop some of our taxation down, and this probably isn't smart long term, but short term, we're gonna pay people to come to our city. It sounds like a crazy idea at first, but once you get here, you feel right at home. I'm wondering if maybe we provide people with a small medical clinic, if that'll help improve demand. And look at that, we're in the green. Although we still have a really big lack of labor. Wait, we have a 0 population? That doesn't even make sense. How is there all these homes if we have 0 people living here? And according to our happiness meter, the only thing they're unhappy about is unreliable healthcare coverage. But that's literally the only thing that we have. Okay, wait, here we go. Our low-density residential demand was coming back until I said that. We'll zone this entire street to have low-density residential. We just need to get enough population to have some seed money. And that is literally just awful. The zoning is so broken that the houses can't actually zone here. They just immediately get disconnected from power. No zoning for you. It doesn't even make sense that we have 0 population. Definitely must be wrong because there's clearly 2 residents living here. Brittany Rosales and Larry Rosales, and they work at Primeval Petrol. So this population meter is just completely unreliable, which means the only way we're going to be able to tell whether or not we have any people is by creating a district, and we need to level up 1 or 2 more times. So if we place down these buildings, we're going to get a bit of XP, and just like that, we are now a small village, and apparently the district creation tool is at milestone 4. You know what we do unlock? We can unlock parking. And now that we have unlocked parking, we can place in our super Walmart. And I just think the idea of having a Walmart on the waterfront is kind of hilarious. And now typically the rule of thumb with parking for Walmart is you just need to figure out how long the building is, and it's 15 units long roughly, and that's how much parking we need. There we go. That is just beautiful. And we want everyone to know where Walmart is, so we'll make sure to add in just a bunch of signs. And unfortunately, this entitled person has to lose their home, but how else would Walmart get their beautiful signs? If we're gonna get to the next milestone, we need to hurry up and level up, so I'm just gonna place down a few of these windmills. Okay, and by a few, I meant only one, because we are out of money. It's only producing 2 megawatts. That's actually not that bad. I think it's time to stop handing out money, because we need to make money. And we're also gonna need a $250,000 loan, because we're gonna use that loan to level up. We'll add in an elementary school right here. And what's the cheapest high school you got? Actually, wait, this can't be cheap. This is America. We need the Southwestern Elementary School, and we need it to take up as much space as possible. Wait, I'm an idiot. I already placed an elementary school. We need a high school. And I just love burning through money, apparently. So now we can't even afford a high school. It's truly a billion IQ strategy. I have a new idea for leveling up, though. We just take this road, and we send it up a tiny bit, and then we send it off to the side, and off to the side one more time. Okay, wow, that took way too long. But now finally we're a large village. And this is exactly what we need because we unlock more commercial buildings. Oh no way, a Costco? This would be perfect. From here on out, we will say goodbye to all these homes because this is now Costco's property. Where we're going, we don't need homes. All we need is Costco. And I guess we can have a small fire station. Oh wait, now we're officially broke. Yeah, we're gonna have to take down this road budget all the way to 50. Except I don't think that did anything. We're gonna have to bring our healthcare all the way down as well. Same with our education. Same with our fire. Wait, we can borrow more money? Let's try and be responsible this time. I just need a small cash injection. We're almost at the next milestone. We're gonna use our newfound money to build a small wind turbine right alongside here. And why won't you work? All right, will you work now? No, it still won't work. New plan. Let's just pull the connection in. Now, are we exporting power? We are indeed exporting power. So now we should slowly start to make a little bit more money. We are losing negative $8,000 per hour, but I have a feeling in time, all of that's going to be solved. Let's get in a bunch more industrial alongside this road. Honestly, our turbine is performing so well. We're exporting $17,000 in electricity. I feel like we might as well add on some of these cheaper upgrades. And right, the money problem, I totally forgot about it. I don't know why I keep forgetting. Let's just crank this service fee all the way to 200%. And same thing with water and sewage. It's really just the roads. They're eating so much of our budget. But if we can make it to the next milestone, we're gonna get 100,000, which hopefully is the cash injection that we need. I think the only way we get out of this hole is by deleting all of the residential housing that hasn't filled in, because it's seriously impacting our demand. That's all of them deleted, which makes our city look very, very tiny. Everything is just snowballing. We still apparently have 0 population, even though I know for a fact that we do. This house has 2 residents. What is the game talking about? We're gonna quickly do a fresh reset, and this time I realized something. We were paying for every single road that I placed in because it didn't come with the base map. They were being considered as roads that I placed in, so we had to pay the maintenance fee. This time, I edited the roads on the default map, so we shouldn't have any crazy upkeep anymore. And because I didn't realize how hard this actually would be, we're gonna play this a bit more strategically. I'm gonna get all the basics set up, and I'll be right back. Now we have a much more reasonable start. We didn't blow all of our money running outside connections through the map. We didn't blow all of our money making a grid that we can't use. And instead what we have is one beautiful hyperroad, a medical clinic, a little bit of industrial, our sewage and water utilities, and then our power. And we also have this tunnel, but please don't look at it. I'm a bit ashamed of it, to be honest. Now we do have some medium density demand, and we had this last time, but I got a good feeling. Let's just get in some Southwestern. And already we have issues. What is your problem with this road? There's nothing wrong with this road. You're the weird one. We're only losing negative $1,300 per hour, and we can actually afford things that are gonna help with our demand. So let's get an elementary school in right here. And everyone just loves that. Perfect. But I've got more good news for you guys. Let's also add in a fire station, just right beside someone's low density house. And we're also gonna add in a northeastern police station. And now we actually have somewhat of a functioning city. Why is it that every time I speak, something bad happens? We have a lack of labor. That makes sense. Somehow our population is still 0. So if these companies are just really that unhappy, you can go find a different city with hyper roads. Good luck. We'll also make our first extension, and we're going to be very careful. What's our road maintenance look like? Only 1,500. That's much more reasonable than the 100,000 we had before. And we've ran out of water. Do you really not have enough water? So the building definitely could produce enough water, but right now it doesn't have enough employees. We're going to drop our taxation down, this time to 4%. And the interesting thing is even our budget is much better. We're pulling in way more money than last time. But now what we can do is zone in a bunch of medium density alongside this road. I also want to start making some money, and we do export power. So let's just place a wind turbine right here. We'll make sure to get this connected in. Come on, wind turbine, make us some money. And we're out of water again. Okay, new idea. Let's go into our services, and we're just going to crank our water and sewage budget, and we're going to drop our service fee to 0%. I still don't get why the population view is bugged, and I really want to know what it is, so we need to quickly level up. So let's just get some very reasonable farms back here. And because these roads are so big, we pretty much have to bulldoze a bunch of houses just to do this. And now at the very least, we're making our own food. Of course, we'll get some North American commercial right beside our farms. It's very reasonable. Why won't more people move into the city? There's literally nothing wrong with this. Maybe what we need to do is add in more turbines, sell that power for more money, but also all of this gives us XP, which we can use to level up. And I think we might just have to use some of our money to cheese the XP system. After a totally reasonable amount of cheese, we are now Grand Village. And this is really what I wanted because I want to see how many people actually live in this area. And if the population tab won't tell us, then we'll use a district to figure it out. We have 185 residents, 287 households. Now maybe we should start solving some of these people's needs. That way we can increase our demand. Right now we have a lack of entertainment and unreliable healthcare coverage. We have a medical facility right here. All they'd have to do is drive across these 30 lanes to get to any of these houses, and that's reasonable. So new idea. We're going to place a medical facility over here, and they just want entertainment. Well, we can definitely give you entertainment. Here's a park, and look, even a large campfire site. Now, is that entertaining enough for you guys? No, still not entertaining enough. Okay. I got more good news though. Because we leveled up, we unlocked more signature buildings, which means we're just going to get a bunch of these placed in. Never mind, we only had one. But we do have some commercial demand, so let's finally build out that Walmart. And we just barely have enough room to place in our Walmart. We're going to have to buy one more tile. It's only going to cost 16,000 though, so it's not too bad. And this actually gives us a bunch more space for some more zoning. We also unlocked high density zoning, and I didn't even realize. So let's just get in some Chinese low rent housing, and I have a feeling that this is just going to be amazing. Maybe we'll just get a bunch more commercial, and we'll place that right alongside our beautiful water. And then it looks like we still have a bit more demand for industrial, so let's make sure to add that back in. Although our city is starting to feel a bit disconnected, and we can easily improve that. Goodbye, homes. Who needs homes when you have roads? And just make a beautiful connection. Just look at that. It's magnificent. Wait, our elementary school has 0 children in it? What, you don't want to cross the street to get to the elementary school? Are you scared of the 600km/h hyperroad? Or is it the tunnel that scares you? Because that tunnel scares me. And just look at this delivery van. It's zooming. I don't know why, but the demand is just so bad. Is it truly that unreasonable to think that people would move here? You know, maybe we just need a path for pedestrians to walk around because maybe they're just scared of these roads. Of course, we're gonna have to use the wide pavement path because anything else would be unrealistic for this city. Let's add in an even more ridiculous one. There, will people walk around more? I think it's just time to get rid of some of these commercial businesses. They're not really helping with anything, so we'll just replace it with Southwestern Residential. And we're just gonna start cutting all of our services. And now we're only losing $1,400 per hour. The residents just keep bouncing back from 140 to 160, and we can barely get over 100 households. So I've been trying to think of reasons of why this might happen. And the only thing that I can guess is that this hyperroad is just too wide, or we need a highway connection into the city. So let's start with the highway first, because I really don't want to reduce our hyperroad. We just need to quickly unlock them, and we're going to make that connection from right here. And then we'll just get this connected into our outside connection, and I really hope that helps. If it doesn't, I do have another theory, but we've kind of burnt through all of our money, and we need a big cash injection. We need at least $150,000 just to place the bus depot, but then we also need about $50,000 of wiggle room. So let's take a $200,000 loan. We're gonna pause. Let's get our bus depot placed down right here. Then we're just gonna have one bus stop shelter right here. Then all we need to do is set up an outside connection for our bus route. And actually, before we let this simulate for too long, let's drop our bus service all the way down to 50%, and we can already see our transit is doing its job. This is just insane. Watching them do all the lane swaps, I'm kind of hurt that we had to build a 2-lane road, but if it solves everything, I'm going to be happy with it. And we can see quite a bit of traffic's coming in, but there's also quite a bit of traffic coming in from these roads anyways. But we have population. It was the answer all along. Okay, so that's really good news. That means this city is actually viable. I'm just the idiot who's been playing it wrong. And not only is our demand actually looking much better, our happiness is going up as well. They have spacious homes, abundance of entertainment, and abundance of leisure time. That's exactly what we want to see. And our population is just skyrocketing at this point in time. In fact, most of our buildings are actually filling in. Oh no way, we even have office demand. This is amazing. We placed that right beside our Walmart. Very reasonable. I'm so happy that the Hypercity is functioning. The only issue is that we need to quickly make some money. So we have a bit of medium density demand. Let's slap that in right here. And of course, we have a crazy amount of low density. And we'll just zone a few homes on the Walmart parking lot. And if that's not realistic, then I don't know what is. But you know what would take this just a step further? Let's just add in a big, beautiful path right here. And of course, this house decides to spawn in once I do that. It's fine. The path can connect to the back of Walmart. Wait, I've got good news. We're actually making money for once. And we have more medium density demand too. So this time we'll go with some Chinese medium density housing. We need more room for development, so we need to purchase this tile right here. Ooh, it's gonna cost 35,000. That's a bit rough, but we don't have a choice, we need it. And now we just need to extend our grid a bit, and we will connect these in soon, but we're out of money, so for now this is gonna be it. And we'll zone the most appropriate thing on here, low density, southwestern residential. We need more room and we're so close. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too big. Let's start out small. What do we got demand for? What do we got demand for? We got demand for office. We'll just make this a mixed match of styles. And we can only extend by just a little bit more, but we're getting closer. Oh, we definitely need to put a gas station here. In fact, we should probably put a few gas stations around. We're gonna need them. And also, a pub. We're slowly but surely achieving peak urbanism. I mean, sure, yeah, we have roads that take up almost the entire map, but you can't deny the beauty and the simplicity of it. Wait, what is this? What do you mean no pedestrian access? I don't get it. What is in the water? Why can't I delete it? Wait, it's this house. I swear, it's the game that's broken, not my design. We have more money to expand. And before I could even finish that thought, we've hit milestone 5. We're now a tiny town. Yeah, I don't know how tiny we are, but we appreciate the money. We really need it. And that's because now we can buy these extra tiles right here. Remember that key wall road I was talking about earlier? I think it's finally time. Well, it's finally time for a tornado. I probably shouldn't spend all of our money though, so we're gonna stop right here. And are you kidding me? There goes all of the houses that we worked so hard to get. It's fine. I'm gonna go to happy places, and my happy place is this key wall. And we finally have mixed-use housing. I think the urban promenades are gonna do us well, although I should probably learn to make these grids a lot smaller. So what if we just split this in the middle, kinda like that? And now we're using our space much more efficiently. Let's also just add in a bit more low-density residential. And I'm wondering, if we just crank this ticket price all the way up to $50, will that make us some more money? I really hope that it does, because we need it. Although we're still in the green. We're making about $3 grand every hour. Aside from healthcare coverage, their biggest complaint is internet service. That's easy to solve. We're just gonna add in this radio mast, ideally somewhere in the middle. Let's say right there. Wait, I seen traffic. There was a negative modifier for traffic, how dare they? There is absolutely no traffic in this city. In fact, traffic is flowing amazingly. Also, it's kind of crazy, we have so much demand now we can barely keep up with it. We didn't really get the turnout that I was hoping for over here, so we're just gonna swap it all out. Now we're gonna say goodbye to this farm, we don't need it anymore. And let's move this elementary school to our more populated areas, which is gonna be over here. And the rest of this is just gonna get bulldozed, because we're gonna run another hyper road, just like that. Absolutely perfect. And now we can add more zoning. We've unlocked a bookshop. Let's put this bookshop right beside our turbines. These corner pieces are gonna be the end of me. If I hadn't moved it, everything would be so much easier. It's really hard to keep up with the demand when we have such little space to work with. Every time we want to expand, we have to bulldoze a bunch of homes. And then I just smashed a bunch of buildings together to create this absolute monstrosity I mean, it's not really that bad. It's kind of nice, as long as you don't look at the roads. We have a high unemployment rate, so let's deal with that. And we have this energy drink bottling plant. We might as well place it close to our downtown. How many jobs is that going to provide? Only 42. What's our unemployment rate? 25%? That's rough. We can fix this though, we can fix this. We need more gas stations. And in all its glory and beauty, I now present Gas Station Road. Or Gas Station Land? I don't know what to call it. All it's missing is a few trees to make it feel really integrated. There we go, it's beautiful. Actually, it's way too nice. There we go, now it's much more realistic. Did we solve our unemployment? Not yet, but we made it drop down from 25 to 16. And we've hit milestone 6, let's go, we're now a boomtown. And that gives us 150,000, which I really wanted. Because now we can buy some extra tiles. So it might just be time to expand across the water. How many can we buy? Can we get at least 3? 6 would be all of our money, but if we just get these 4, we should be good. Of course, we're gonna need a bridge to connect these across. World's most realistic bridge right there. And the bridge took all of our money. That's okay, I can learn to be patient. Let's swap out all of these low-density residentials for McDonald's. That should be a big help with our unemployment, and we have just enough money for a small stretch of road. And over here is going to be our real masterpiece. For now, all we have demand for is low-density residential, so that's all we're going to add in. Magnificent. How many people? 3,686 residents. I don't know why this tab is telling us one thing, but our population tab is telling us something different. Doesn't really make sense. Oh wait, are we starting to have some traffic problems on our highway? That's crazy talk. And it's obviously just because there isn't enough lanes. And that right there should get us to where we need. It's just a 5-lane asymmetric highway for pretty much no reason. In fact, it's kind of in the wrong way, but there we go, now it's not. And just look at it, it's perfect. For how much traffic there is, it's actually flowing really good. And I didn't expect that. I was kind of hoping it'd be much worse, which means we need way more people to live in this city. Oh wait, let's just take a second to appreciate what's going on down here. Are people just waiting in the middle of the road? The crossing is so long that people have to wait. Oh yeah, this is definitely a perfectly normal city. Wait, we have 38,000, which means we have to expand. And I'm sorry to all the people who lived here, you don't get homes anymore. All right, more low density it is. You know what? We're gonna take a loan. Oh wait, we already took one? I don't even remember. It's fine though, because we're gonna take another one, because I just want to expand this area already. And I only just realized that we have a whole bunch of hearse icons, and we have no death care. And the best way to solve death care is to add a bunch more vehicles onto the road. And I was gonna say we're gonna add a crematorium, but we're too broke. So instead, we'll just add this small cemetery, and let's put it in the most convenient place possible, all the way on this corner edge. Perfectly reasonable. Look, they even drive off of the driveway, into the grass, and then on the road. And it's almost impossible to quench all of this low density demand. The second we add the roads, we're broke again. And they only give us so much space. If this isn't hell, then I don't know what is. It's just an endless sea of single-family residential on a 30-lane road. Since I last saw you, it's been 4 hours. The money is coming so slow, so I just keep doing all of these little incremental expansions, and that barely adds to our population. We had an unemployment problem and still kind of do, so now we have this beautiful expansion. And then there was a small problem with the waste, so I just put it behind the Walmart because why not? The majority of our budget is just spent on road maintenance, and we don't even have a road maintenance facility. I wonder what the condition of our roads actually looks like. And it's actually really bad. I only just added these roads about 5 minutes ago. All the other ones are starting to get really, really red. Our traffic flow is somehow bad, but to me it looks really solid. You have people just speeding through and hitting citizens, people randomly swapping lanes out of nowhere, quite a bit of people on the crossing. And for some reason everyone wants to get into this side lane here. Oh wait, what's this transport truck doing? Oh, it's maneuvering around the people, how kind. Although I still think you hit someone. Interestingly, we have a high crime risk, so let's solve that. We'll use the Southwestern Police Station, we'll get that placed right there, and let's just throw on every single upgrade because why not? And let's give them some more campfire sites because I know how important that is. It took me about 6 to 7 hours to make this. Most of the time was spent simulating for money. It was partially a success and partially a failure. I don't know if residents just don't like the hyperroads, or maybe they just don't like that two Walmarts were smashed together in order to create a super Walmart. But if I had to rate Hyperroad City on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 10. Really hope you enjoyed. Today's shoutouts go to Jake Hill, Gary Key, Deku, Middleveen, Michael Mills, Evan Aird, and to everyone else supporting the channel. If you want sneak peeks, save file access, or exclusive roles on Discord, you can join us over on Patreon or YouTube. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.